Hey guys, so another
obvious
part
jump
two.
cut is not obvious.
Another part 2. So
And keeping with the remember the
hyphen curse. We actually not only did the iPad die on us.
My car died.
Yeah, so we think that sheets we were filming in is cursed.
So we're gonna start filming at the other sheets.
Yeah, but we're filming in the shed again. So when we last left off, Batman had just figured out where the next hit was going to be, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So
he decides motherfucker's gonna die tonight.
And so basically, one of the other guys goes to that guy, and he's like, "Dude, you gotta stop! Someone's trying to kill us." Well, it turns out, if I remember correctly, the assistant of the other dude wants to kill these guys because he knows that basically these dudes were like, "You know what? This plan ain't really working out. I think we want to kind of dissolve our partnership." And the one dude's like, "Okay, but what if we take a year to get this all suited out, and I'll buy the contracts for you guys out so that I can, because I want to keep going. I think I can." The dude's like, "All right, like I'll pay you guys." And they're like, "All right." Oh, that's the tractor with the 2 seats. Oh, we should film the next one in that.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway,
You get the attention span of squirrels.
right. But so basically, the assistant brings the dude in, and then it turns out he's the guy that he's like, "No, I'm just going to kill all you guys so I can have the money in this shitty chemical plant that's going out of business."
Jesus.
So he conks the dude out with a wrench, and
So I'm like, you know how much that you ever held a wrench? Like,
yeah,
how much that shit would hurt getting hit with that?
It would. And so he drags the dude under this like glass case and starts filling it with, I think, nerve gas. I forget exactly what gas. I assume nerve because it's World War II.
My company to make nerve gas.
To make nerve gas. And so it looks like the dude's gonna die when all of a sudden Batman just bursts through this motherfucker's skylight. I'm like, "Oh, way to go, Batman!"
Now you caused some property damage.
It caused some property damage. So
It's a menace.
And so
Wrong fucking franchise. Wrong fandom altogether.
So the dude rushes Batman. Or no, actually, I think the dude just leaves. Batman waits for the guy to leave, so he goes and opens the lid enough so that he can slide under. Oh yeah, but first he grabs a clock and the wrench.
It took me a minute, because at first I'm like, crazy motherfuckers always be charging Batman, thinking they're gonna win.
No, I remember he leaves because he's like, "Well, this guy's gonna die, so I'm not gonna wait." So Batman takes that opportunity to go in, grab the wrench and a clock, and he puts the clock up in where the gas administrator is, which I'm like, I don't know if that would really work like he thinks it does.
It's a pulp type deal. You're not supposed to think about that.
Well, and to be fair, I think the idea is it's gonna keep the gas from all coming in, so it'll give him enough time to break through the glass encasing. And so Batman pulls the duties out. He's like, "How'd you know, Batman?" He's like, "Well, I looked at the contract and saw whose names were on it." Which then comes to the assistant motherfucker, and he being like, "No, I'll kill both of you." And I'm like, dude's dressed like a bat. I don't think you really got much of a chance.
Yeah, crazy motherfucker want to fight a dude dressed like a bat. Like, come on.
So, dude fights Batman. Batman beats the shit out of him. And then he tries to run.
As Batman does.
As Batman does. I think either I can't remember. Was he trying to escape or did Batman just, like, he rushed the dude, Batman and Batman threw him over?
I think it's that he rushed him.
Yeah, and so Batman, like, not knowing where he is, just throws the dude into a vat of unopened chemicals because it's Gotham City. It's not the criminals or like their poor protection of the mentally insane.
It's the lack of any kind of OSHA standards.
Yeah, there's no fucking OSHA compliance in Gotham. Like that's what caused the Joker, Mr. Freeze, Firefly, Condiment King probably. He probably was in like a freak mustard accident.
Could be somewhere. No.
And you'll find that this Batman is a stone cold killer. He watched this dude fall into a vat of acid and he's just like, a fitting end for men like him. And I'm like,
damn.
Well, because this is Pulp Batman. And Pulp Batman may not kill people, but like if a dude causes his own end, he's going to be like, well, couldn't have no better fella. Yeah, but like, could you imagine if modern Batman had something like that happen? He'd be like, "Oh my God, I can never be Batman again."
He fucking would do. He would fucking flip the fuck out.
You like that scene in I am the knight after Gordon gets shot by the jazz man. And Batman just wrecks the Batcave in his sadness. I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but like, it's just kind of hilarious watching this grown man in a Batman costume just ripping his own stuff apart because he's like, it didn't work. My parents are dead. That's my go-to.
If anybody watches this, they're gonna think like, "Oh, you guys don't like Batman." It's like no,
No,
we do.
I love Batman, but like,
you got to be able to have fun. How many times do we make the joke like when Batman finds you with an eighth, just beats the shit out of you?
now talk. That bitch a criminal. Yay. But
We're a completely serious podcast.
I mean, we're talking about a comic book from the 1940s. Next, we're going to be talking about a cereal from the 1940s that is very racially insensitive. But
what we need to do is dress up like 40s people and then film that other one. Like we just came out of the theater.
like we just, oh my god. Yes, that Batman fellow was quite amusing. It took me off my mind after the fact that half my family's died of polio. It also convinced me I'm going to buy war bonds for the boys overseas. I don't know why I sound like an old-timey fair announcer at a 1940s fair. Hey boys, get in line to punch Hitler. Don't 4F now.
What the fuck is this about?
We were talking about Batman. Okay. So, Batman stops the dude. I think he talks to Commissioner Gordon or leaves like a letter with the dude. It's like, this is what happened. And Gordon's just like, another adventure stopped by that cunning Batman. I wonder who he is. Oh no, he's talking to Bruce again because Bruce is back smoking at his place.
And Bruce is just
Bruce is like, that Batman, I couldn't care less. I'm not Batman. I'm Batman.
Bruce, can you make it any more fucking obvious?
I know. And then it ends with Batman going to his house as if everyone doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman by reading the story. Goes into his room because the Batcave hadn't been invented yet. And then comes out, standing in the doorway like this with his Batman costume. I'm Batman. Also, I should get some better gloves. And I should probably hire a butler because I think I can't sew because the cowl layers are weird. So, yeah, that's the first ever story of Batman. You think it still holds up?
I think it does. I can definitely see where in modern times they've kind of modernized it, streamlined it a little bit. But I think overall, looking at it just looking at it as a singular comic, I definitely think it holds up.
Yeah, because
to be fair, I also love old comics.
Yeah,
so.
as do I. But I think it's one of those ones because even though it takes place in the 40s, this story could happen anytime. And it's very simple, and I think doing pulp, if you want to make a superhero pulp fiction, you start simple and work your way up. To be fair, at least it doesn't have as much stuff that you have to change over time, like say Iron Man's origin, which at some point I'd like us to talk about. But
where he's in Vietnam. So was the Punisher.
So is the Punisher. The Fantastic Four got their powers by trying to beat the commies into space.
Yeah, it's like stuff that it's like, you got to kind of modernize this a little bit.
Because with Batman and Superman, you really don't have to alter much.
Yeah.
And it's, in my opinion, why I think Year One still holds up dramatically well too, because Batman and Superman are characters that can happen anytime. If I were to recommend this to people, I probably would have someone read something else before I would recommend them reading this, because it is kind of simple. He literally just stumbles across a crime and just solves it. But otherwise, I still think it's really good. I'm sorry that it's a little bit short. I guess we could kind of talk about some of the stuff that would come later, just because I don't want us to have just a 9-minute part.
Yeah, we can do that.
For one, I think it's hilarious how for years he didn't have a car. He literally just had he drove a regular car, or would have Alfred drive him places.
Imagine him being stuck in rush hour traffic.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
Come on!
Come on! I got crimes to solve. Actually, let's talk about the one-page origin, since it's...
Yeah, why not?
So, basically, it just has Batman and his parents coming out of the theater, And
For the first time ever, we see the Waynes get
getting
fucking just shot. And then something that will be repeated time and time again, like we don't know his parents are dead.
For one, I don't think the pearls are in the original version.
No.
The pearls were a thing Frank Miller. If it were Mark Miller, then there would be weird incestual context about Bruce touching his mother's.
Why you gotta bring that shit in? Every fucking time with your how you get your sick fucking kicks?
Look,
you jolly old fuck.
Look, I can't help that because like that was a thing that happened in Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder, All-Star Batman and Robin.
I don't fucking care.
We're
not reviewing that. I don't care.
No, I know we won't. But basically, like the pearls were not a thing, and it basically just shows Batman training. My favorite being like him holding like 100-pound dumbbell with one hand. I'm like, bruh.
Like, no, that's not possible.
That is a scene where like 8-year-old Bruce is tearfully. I like to imagine he still has the Batman voice at like 8.
Oh my god!
And I swear to wage war on all crime to avenge the death of my parents. You know but you know, and I love it because like it just shows Batman doing all this training, and then he's sitting in his smoking jacket in his father's den, being like, "Criminals are a suspicious, cowardly lot. So my costume should inspect crime instill fear into the hearts of criminals."
And this fucking bat just crashes through the fucking window.
Actually, it doesn't crash through the window.
It just flies in.
Yeah, it just flies through. He just had the
Year
window.
1 is where it crashes.
Yeah, year 1 the thing just crashes through. Which, if it were a normal bat, it'd be dead after it crashed through that window. Yeah. If it had enough force to crash through the window.
Unless it's like some really shitty glass.
Unless it's some really shitty glass, but
Bruce Wayne lines his house with movie glass.
Yeah. But I love that because like there it's just very simple. Batman's like, well, this bat flew through. That has to be an omen. Bats are scary. That like I love it because in regular continuity, Bob Kane's like, well, yeah, it just kind of comes to him, and he's just like, oh, okay. Whereas with year 1 and like every origin story after, you know, Batman's like half dead, and the thing like, a bat crashed through the window. I remember when I fell into the pit. A bat flew at me. It frightened me. Yes, Father.
Like they make it so much more dramatic.
Yeah, or like how in like the Nolan films when he fucking finds the Batcave when he's an adult and the fucking bats swirl around him like it's like he's being fucking baptized by the bats because it's like fucking like.
Oh, bro, those are the best Batman movies. No.
I mean, Dark Knight's pretty good, but like.
Where's Rachel?
It's also kind of funny because, like, I don't think they, like, well, of course, what we do next introduces the Batcave, but, like, it's kind of funny because, like, nowadays, like, the whole reason he knows of the Batcave underneath Wayne Manor is because he fell into it as a kid. Yeah. And he's just like, well, this is where I'm gonna do all my crime fighting. Because it's kind of funny because, like, they took so much from Zorro for Batman, but they didn't take the whole he has, like, a cave that he works out of.
Yeah.
And like that didn't come until the serials, which I find so interesting. But then again, that's
one of those crazy things. You know?
Yeah, it's like how like Superman didn't fly until the Fleischer cartoons.
Yeah,
he leaped.
Or like I can't remember what it is exactly, but I know the radio dramas added some stuff too.
Yeah. I want to say something was added to Spider-Man from the cartoon, the '60s cartoon.
I can't think of what it
was.
Well,
I can't think of it.
I'd have to go home and actually look it up.
Maybe I'm just thinking about the Firestar came from Spider-Man, His Amazing
Friends.
Yeah,
that's what you're thinking of.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Which people cannot create because we're going to get a Firestar action figure.
Because this is Jeopardy! No, I love that because like the guy that introduces Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends is the same dude who does the Jeopardy opening. But yeah, and it's just kind of funny how, like, back then origins were not really that
important.
Well, because, like, Action Comics, the origin is only, like, a page. Like, they don't even bring up Jor-El or...
Yeah, that didn't come until, like, way later.
Yeah, that didn't come until way later. Like, the Fortress of Solitude wasn't crystal until the movie. It was literally just a cave in the North Pole Superman carved with his super strength. It was a big fucking key that he has outside because only he can lift the key. Batman has to climb up the keyhole with a rope.
What about in the movie where he fights the polar bears?
First of all, that didn't actually happen. That was going to happen. Stop acting like it happened.
It did. I saw it. It was in an alternate cut.
We'll talk about it in the next Remembering the Script, okay?
Well, we gotta review the Godfather written one.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't know about this?
No, what?
The original script for Superman was written by Mario Puzo.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
Yeah, I think that draft is out there. I think it's like 500 pages. So if you want to review that, we can.
Oh,
it's gonna take us a while.
It's gonna take a while because that's a fucking novel.
It's Mario Puzo. Even then, apparently it was like they rewrote the motherfucker because it was too fucking long.
I wonder if that means Superman in that version kills Lex by pulling a gun out of the toilet.
You come to me. You come to me on the day my son's going to fucking earth. And you know I have kryptonite.
You come to me on the day of my species extermination.
No, krypton.
That'd be like if Batman's dad was
Githam.
Githam City.
All right, we have gone so far off track.
All right, yeah,
let's wrap this one up.
All in all, I'm glad we kind of talked about this because I think we can do more like this. I think for Spider-Man this year we should do Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah.
But that's for another day, guys. Sorry this was short and in multiple parts. I wish we could say this is going to be the last one of these for a while, but well, come Spider-Man, we also have a part that's...
We're kind of effed when it comes to this curse. So
yeah, no, thankfully I think part of the problem is when we spontaneously record, something always goes wrong.
Shit breaks.
Like we need to just always be like, all right, we're going to record this day, make sure everything's working. That's fine. But yeah, it happens. So anyway, guys, this is going to be it for this episode of Bill and Bat November. We got one more coming out in the can, and we're still going to be doing this kind of 40s thing for a little bit. So hope you guys stick around for that, and we hope you enjoy. But until then, guys, I'm Zangetsu134.
And I'm Ever Show Squad.
And as always, we ask,
Remember the hyphen?
and take care.